I would like to call this meeting to order for the City Council meeting of December 1st, 2020. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cordero?
Here.
Councilmember Moats?
Here.
Councilmember Soto?
Here.
Councilmember Waterfield? Madam Mayor Patino?
Here. Our first order of business is a proclamation, and Councilmember Cordero will be making the presentation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This is a proclamation for the People's Self-Help Housing. Whereas the People's Self-Help Housing was incorporated on August the 6th, 1970. And whereas for the past 50 years, People's Self-Help Housing has developed more than 1,900 affordable rental units throughout San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and Ventura counties, bringing safety, security, and stability to all participants who live there. And whereas through their self-help program, People's Self-Help Housing has supported nearly 1,250 owner-builders across the region who have worked together and used their sweat equity to build wealth for their families and achieve the American dream of home ownership. And whereas People's Self-Help Housing has additionally supported those households with financial management opportunities such as home buyer education, down payment assistance programs, and foreclosure prevention counseling. And whereas People's Self-Help Housing has, through their Resident Serve program, supported thousands of individuals with empathetic case management and connection to the community health services, leading to independent and enriched living. And whereas People's Self-Help Housing has, through its education department, provided a bridge from home to school, from kindergarten to the 8th grade, and mentorship for those college-bound and beyond. Now, therefore, Alice Patino, Mayor of the City of Santa Maria, hereby recognizes 2020 as the 50th anniversary of People's Self-Help Housing in the City of Santa Maria, and commend them for their efforts toward continuously improving the quality of life for local families, empowering them to lead rewarding and enriched lives. In witness whereof, Alice Patino, the Mayor of the City of Santa Maria, has caused the seal of the great City of Santa Maria to be affixed hereto this first day of December 2020. Signed by Alice Patino.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cordero.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Our next item is another proclamation, and Councilmember Moats will be making the presentation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and this proclamation will be for the 100th anniversary of Disabled American Veterans. Whereas the Disabled American Veterans Organization was created in 1920 by World War I veterans, and whereas the DAV organization provides services to disabled veterans free of charge through a nationwide network of national service offices, hospital service coordinator offices, and more than 1,900 local DAV chapters, and whereas the Santa Maria DAV Chapter 22 was established on October 14, 1946, and is dedicated to empowering veterans to lead high-quality lives with respect and dignity by ensuring that veterans and their families have access to the full range of benefits available to them. And whereas DAV Chapter 82 fights for the interests of injured heroes on Capitol Hill and has helped local veterans collect over $750,000 in disability benefits. And whereas DAV Chapter 82 donated $500 worth of New Balance shoes to local disabled veterans last year, and continues fundraising efforts to provide assistance to veterans and their families. Now, therefore, Alice Patino, Mayor of the City of Santa Maria, hereby recognizes 2020 as the 100th anniversary of disabled American veterans in the city of Santa Maria, and commends them for their continued efforts towards improving the quality of life for local veterans and their families.
Thank you, Dr. Moats. And that will be delivered. Thank you. Yes, thank you. The next item on the agenda is the public comment period. Madam Clerk, could you please read the criteria for the public comment portion of this agenda?
This time is reserved to accept comments from the public on consent agenda items, closed session items, or matters not otherwise scheduled on the printed agenda this evening. Unless otherwise directed by the mayor, speakers will have 3 minutes to comment. Direction to staff may be given. However, state law does not allow action to be taken on matters not on the printed agenda this evening. And Madam Mayor, at this time, there doesn't appear to be any attendees in our Zoom list. If there are, I'll mention it at some point.
Thank you very much. Before we move on, Mr. Stillwell, did you wish to make any comments? Okay. So moving on to the consent calendar, Madam Clerk, could you please read item number 3?
The following items are presented for City Council approval without discussion as a single agenda item in order to expedite the meeting. The consent calendar is approved by roll call vote with one motion. These items are discussed only on the request of council members.
Does anyone have items they wish to pull for discussion?
Madam Mayor, I'd
Yes.
like to
Ms. Soto?
pull, thank you. I'd like to pull item 3C for a separate vote and item 3K for discussion.
3C.
Do you want me to read the title?
Pardon?
You want me to read the title?
Yes, please.
Item 3C is adopt a resolution confirming the setting of a zero campaign contribution limit in the city of Santa Maria for local elections and deeming the zero limit as an imposed limit pursuant to Assembly Bill AB 571. And 3K is adopt a resolution approving an agreement with Polytech Industrial, Inc. for bid number 2020-07 for the wastewater treatment plant primary clarifier rehabilitation project.
Okay, did you wish to discuss either one right now?
I guess we can start discussing item 3K.
Okay.
And I have questions for staff, if that's okay.
Certainly.
Thank you. What was the process for finding this contractor? Because I noticed that they are out of the area contractors.
Kevin, are you available? Can you comment?
Okay, Mr. Springer is right behind there. Okay.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Councilmember Soto. This project, while funded by utilities, was shepherded by the Public Works Department, but I can speak in general terms on how we go about that. Particularly projects that we consider a Public Works contract or a formal bid. In this case, the value of the contract would have put us in the formal bid realm under the Public Contract Code. In that scenario, we go out and we advertise the project as required by law. So it goes in the local newspaper of circulation, and then it's notified to local bid houses and that sort of thing. So not only would local contractors been made aware of it, but oftentimes contractors subscribe with a local contractor building board, so they're notified as well and can get plan sets that way.
Okay. And did we have any local contractors a bid?
Yeah, the bid tabs as part of the contract would have listed who those contractors are, and also gives, usually lists the top 3 or 4 and then also their location.
Yeah, they're on there. Thank you. And the reason why I wanted to pull this item for discussion is because I want us to to really keep in mind the importance of hiring locally and making sure that we hire a local workforce, especially during this time of COVID where we are seeing a lot of small businesses really hurting. And so I was disappointed to see that what's being presented before us is a contractor from out of the area. And, I just wanted to highlight, again, the importance of making sure that we contract locally, and hopefully we can have further discussions at a later time as to how we can do that in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Springer. Mr. McCune is on the phone if we want any further questions or comments. It's fine? Oh, okay. Okay. And you wish to pull item C then to vote separately?
Correct.
Is that
Item
okay?
3C for a separate vote, that's the contribution campaign limits? Yes.
Okay.
I don't agree that we have a zero limit.
Okay, so I need a motion.
Make a motion, so moved.
Okay.
Wait, what are we moving?
No. Okay, I need a motion.
For the entire, with the exception of C and K.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
second
no,
that.
K is fine.
Oh, okay, with
Yeah.
the exception of C.
Correct.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussions? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cordero?
Aye.
Councilmember Moats?
Aye.
Councilmember Soto?
Aye.
And Madam Mayor Patillo?
Aye. Okay, item number C.
Make a motion, Your Honor. Can I make a motion, Your Honor?
Okay,
That we pass item C.
okay. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's a move in second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Cordero?
Aye.
Councilmember Moats?
Aye.
Councilmember Soto?
No.
And Madam Mayor Patino?
Aye. Okay, the next item will be a report by the city manager, Mr. Stillwell.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the council. So immediately following this council meeting, scheduled at 6 o'clock, is our tree lighting ceremony just out on the corner on Cook and Broadway. That will be available on Facebook Live on the Recreation and Parks page for people who want to view it at home. There's also media out there. And unfortunately, this year we weren't able to have a broader celebration, but we are happy to have the tree lit for the holiday season.
And
then
so if you find 500 people out there, what are you going to do, Mr. Stillwell? Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, thank you. And then the next meeting of the City Council is December 15th. We have a number of items on that meeting. The first of note is a certification of the election results and a reorganization of the City Council. Also is a proclamation for outgoing council member Dr. Moats. We have then the selection of Mayor Pro Tem. We'll receive the independent review report of the police department, and we have at least 3 retirement resolutions of note for Fire Chief Champion, Police Chief Hansen, and our Transit Division Manager Austin Odell. So, and that concludes my report at this time.
Thank you. So now we'll have oral reports from council members. Dr. Moats,
I have no report, Madam Mayor.
Ms. Soto,
I don't believe I have any reportable items, Madam Mayor.
okay. Mr. Cordero?
Well, I do. On the 16th, I did the Ben Hayes Show, and over the last 2 weeks, I've had several meetings over the phone and Zoom with Communify, who is the new name for the Community Action Commission, about some internal business workings that we're working on. And I'm going to speak just a little bit out of bounds here, because next meeting, we're going to be saying goodbye to Dr. Moats as a council member. And I just want to make sure that I'm not lost in the weeds of 2 weeks from now to say that I'm going to miss Dr. Moats. And it's difficult when someone new comes on the council, and I've seen that happen a few times now, because you just don't know how it's going to work. And I had that same feeling when Dr. Moats came on. And I have to say that I've thoroughly enjoyed working with him. I'm going to miss him as a colleague. And I look forward to some continued relationships with Dr. Moats. And he taught me some things on how to look at things a little bit differently as a small business person. And I really appreciate having the opportunity to have worked more closely with you over the last 4 years. And thank you so, so much for the time you've given to us here.
Well, thank you, Mr. Cordero.
Thank you, Mr. Cordero. Okay, I will give my report. November 18th, I had the Marion Foundation Board of Directors meeting on a Zoom. On November 19th, SBCAG monthly board meeting, and we do meet in person, but we just meet the North County portion of SBCAG. And did the economic forecast project on the California state budget and the county legislative briefing call. On November 20th, I'm on the task force for the Central Coast Housing Working Group, had that meeting on Zoom, and I went over I didn't serve at the Thanksgiving banquet at the Rescue Mission, but I did say a prayer, and they did the whole banquet different this year, and they just had cars coming through and served people, and I don't even know how many they served. On November 26th, Thanksgiving Day, I went over to Merrill Gardens to pardon the turkey, and I didn't have to pet it, because I know how mean turkeys are, and it was a little cool outside, but people came out to watch and social distanced. November 28th, amidst a California, I did the webinar, amidst a California exodus, Sacramento wants to force density luxury housing on cities. Attended that webinar. And did the November 30th, the VA County Town Hall, which is a Facebook event. This morning I did the Van Hayes show, which was rather short. And in a few minutes we'll be going out to do the Christmas tree lighting. Most of you know that we have lost one of the pillars of our community since we last met. And I'm going to take the time to read the obituary of Edward J. Murray III. And Ed came to our community and decided to stay here and to be a part of our community. And so I am going to read this. Ed was born in Wilmette, Illinois on September 7th, 1944 to Edward and Lucille Murray. He was the oldest of 9 kids in a traditional Irish Catholic family. Obviously, there were 9 kids, for goodness sake. Growing up, he caddied at Winnetka's Indian Hill Club, which helped inspire a certain movie called Caddyshack. He was the original Danny Noonan, which the movie was based on. It was there that he was awarded the Evans Caddy Scholarship in 1963. He would probably like us to point out that he did indeed win the caddy tournament and the scholarship, but he did not fool around with Judge Small's niece, Smale Small, as depicted in the movie. He was proud that his years caddying began at the ripe age of 10 and that he was a scratch golfer by age 16. After completing his service in the Air Force, Ed graduated from Northwestern with a degree in broadcast journalism. He went on to work for Katz Radio in Chicago and later KGB Radio in San Diego. He moved to Santa Maria in 1980 to become a co-owner and run Sunny Country KSMA Radio. This is where he grew his roots in the community, and of course he became a regular face at the Santa Maria Country Club. One of his more famous radio promotions involved a fake St. Patrick's Day parade that was to go right down Broadway. He received many angry calls to the station asking where the bleeping parade was. Like most things he has done in his life, it was a hit. After a successful run in radio, he moved on to being a stockbroker in 1987 at Dean Witter Reynolds, which later became Morgan Stanley. He had a long and successful career, later bringing on his son and daughter-in-law to join him in the business. He happily retired in 2009. He always said he would be out when he turned 65, and he was not kidding. He wanted to get out and show the world of the love of his life, Lisa, play golf, enjoy watching the beloved Cubs and Bears, and have fun, and he sure did. Ed completed a lot of bucket list items, some of them which were skydiving on his 65th birthday and playing many of the world's most famous golf courses. Ed was a pillar in the Santa Maria Valley. He emceed various events, organized countless charity drives, served on several boards, and had a hand in helping build up Santa Maria to what it is today. Two of his proudest contributions were helping with the Marion Hospital campaign and helping Allen Hancock College start an endowment. His emceeing talents were, should I say, infamous. He would do his research and had to know every name in attendance. You could really tell the jokes he loved and respected because he would make them the butt of the jokes. Tell the ones he loved and respected because he would always make them the butt of his jokes all night long. He actually made going to an event fun. More important to him, he actually made you want to give. He loved supporting organizations like the Santa Maria YMCA, Marion Regional Medical Center, Allen Hancock College Foundation, the Boys and Girls Club, First Tee, Evans Scholar, Chamber of Commerce, CASA of the Santa Barbara County, CoLab, Western Growers Association, Rape Crisis Center, and St. Joseph's High School. His motto was always, the more you give, the more you get. He was inducted into the Caddy Hall of Fame in 2015 and was honored to be a recipient of the Celebrate Philanthropy Award and the Santa Maria Valley's Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year in 2016. Ed leaves behind his wife, Lisa Murray, sons Eddie, wife Jennifer, and grandchildren Caitlin and Quinn, Matt, Nike, mother of the grandchildren McKenna and Grace, and Calvin, stepson Mike Draper, wife Jessica, and grandchildren Mikey, McCoy, and Malone, stepdaughter Allie Guerra, husband Kevin, and grandchildren Draper and Decker, mother-in-law Barbara, Babs Ramos, 8 siblings, Brian, Nancy, Bill, Laura, Andy, John, and Joel, and numerous nieces, nephews, and great-nephews. If you ever met Ed, along with his great stories and personality he loved to brag about his grandchildren, and I bet he's doing that right now in heaven. You know, I read this, all these things that he did, and sometimes you read things that people are involved in, but he really got involved in these things, and he really made an impact. And I know how much he supported, like, the Boys and Girls Club, and how much he did for them. And so many kids in this valley had a better time because of him. But, you know, it's just like he never slowed down, and he was an advocate in CASA, and that really takes a lot of time. And when he wasn't doing as much, you know, actively, he was still mentoring, and he did like about 6 or 7 kids. So that takes a lot of time to do this. And I'm just going to say, Ed, thank you for being here in Santa Maria, and we are going to miss you. And I would like to adjourn this evening's meeting in honor of Ed Murray. Thank you.